what's up? Quick disclaimer before I show you the rest of this video. But as I was going through it, I did make a couple little mistakes, and then I discovered that later on as I went through other images that I did make some mistakes on my facts, so don't quote me on my facts. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and I also have a little experience with like photography, so there's some cool stuff about like perspectives and the way that we're looking at the different images that we've seen and the way they kind of appear on the map. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, so let's start the video. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. And on today's video, I thought it'd be fun to take a look again at the map or picture of the Galar region that we first received when we were first introduced to it, and take a look at all of the images from videos, trailers, promo images that have come out, and kind of talk about where in the game those places might be. I've made some like new discoveries and things, and there's been new images, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of revisit it and get excited about the game coming soon in the coming weeks. So they're in no particular order. I tried to sort them out as much as I could, and there may be a couple things that repeat, so if I notice something that's an area that we already covered, I'm going to skip over that. But anyway, we're just going to go through my pictures. They're all organized into a file based on like their promo images that have a location or something that I want to talk about and share with you guys. So and we've got the map pulled up here so I can zoom in and show you guys where I think certain things in the game are going to be found, and we can kind of talk about, you know, all the cool stuff that we can expect to see next month when Sword and Shield drops out, which is actually now that October is pretty much almost over. It's only a few short weeks away before we get to play Sword and Shield. So let's get into this video here and check out these pictures and talk about all the fun stuff we're gonna get to experience. So this first one is, I believe, I don't think it's the Pokemon Center, but it might be like the lab. And so let's see here. All right, so here we have the lab. So I believe that is probably, if we zoom in, this is going to be more like down here. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see here there's like this Pokemon ball that's above the door here. You can kind of see it very vaguely in the image here. I know it might be harder to see on the video than what I'm seeing on my computer screen, but that's why I have the cursor shown so I can show you guys what I'm looking at. So that's this building right here, and I believe that's where you're going to get your starter right here. This house with the purple roof. We can't see the roof in this photo, but you can kind of see the Pokeball right above the doorway there that is shown in the photo here. So this is early on in the game. I believe these are your house and Hop's house. I think this one, the yellow roof, might be ours. And then our rival's house is over here. And then we go into the first town to get our starters. So that's what that's looking like. I'm super excited. There's going to be several things that are like all in the beginning area of the game. Like I said, they're kind of not organized, but we're going to go through it anyway, and I'm going to find those locations and tell you guys where I think that could be found and talk about a few other cool things. So here we have a look at the wild area, and you see the bridge in the background. So if we go up through the wild area, that is probably this bridge right up here. You can see it there. It's tall, got lots of pillars. It actually looks like there's two bridges. There's one here, and there's one way back here. So this actually might be the first bridge, because if we look closely, it looks like there's another bridge further off in the distance. This could even be like up here somewhere, possibly looking back, because this bridge behind the Beware, I hope I'm saying that right. This looks to be longer across than the one behind it, so it could be that we're actually seeing a perspective from right here looking back down this way through this valley right here. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, if you guys just follow my cursor, you'll kind of see where I'm looking and what I'm talking about. But that's what it looks to be like, that maybe you're like right here and you're looking back towards these two bridges, because there's a short one right here and then there's a train bridge right here. So this is like probably maybe a footbridge. There seems to be like a footpath going into maybe even like a cave opening right here that I'm noticing now. Could be like a tunnel that we go into, but there's a footpath here, and then there's a gray train bridge right here in the front, and then there's this longer bridge, and this photo right here with the Pokemon appears to be looking back. And no, oh look, here's another thing to note. Right here is this tower, which is seen right over here. So we are at this area right here where I'm circling with my cursor. So that's from that perspective right here. If you really pay attention to the details in this photo, because there's that tower, that's the back of this clock tower right here that we're seeing. So it's from this perspective. I'm glad I noticed that. I hadn't actually noticed that before I started this video, so that's really cool. So on to the next photo, and let's see if we can find it. All right, okay, this one is just a thing I did that I want to show you guys. Let's zoom in here real quick. But basically, I marked up the photo for like what is the wild area. So all this in red is the wild area. So it starts down here, and I believe you can actually take the train from the starting town down here. And let's get a little closer here. You can take the train here, and I believe it takes you here, and you can either get off, I'm assuming, or you can continue riding and go through the mountains up this way, or you can get off and access the wild area early, because it has been confirmed the people that got to play that 90-minute playthrough finally were able to talk a little bit more about what they experienced, and they were saying that you get access to the wild area pretty early on. So I believe that's here through the train, through that train tunnel right here. You can take it right here next to your, like, I mean, almost, I don't know how much story mode we're gonna have to do in this town before you can access the train. There may be some things to do. Obviously, you're going to pick your starter over here at the professor's, the laboratory. And then, so yeah, there's that. And then you're going to be able to take the train and access the wild area. So I've kind of outlined where the wild area is. It encompasses all of these 3 lakes right here are going to be part of the wild area, which you'll be able to access them. You can fish at the lakes. You'll also be able to ride water Pokemon, probably. If riding Pokemon is a thing in this game, which I assume it probably is. That seemed to be a really good, cool feature that people enjoyed in Let's Go, so I think they would probably continue that with this game. All we've seen so far is that bike. Their bike can actually become a water bike, and so once you have access to the bike, again, not sure when we're going to get the bike. It's unclear right now when you can actually access the bike, but once you have the bike, you could come back here and be able to go in the water and even like reach this lake here. And it looks like there's some places where you'll be able to access. I'm guessing like there's these beaches here. That's probably where you can like just basically ride your bike into the water and it turns into the water bike. It looks like some have more like steeper ledges where you won't be able to do any actual entry into the water right there. So you'd have to be like at this beach area here is what I'm assuming. And so all of this, and I don't know how far this way that the wild area extends. We have quite a bit of land over here. I don't know if you're going to be able to access these mountains or they're just there as like a background. It's unclear this way, like how much direction you have. So I just sort of left a little bit there of like, you probably have some space here to explore. But then if you continue through the wild area, it actually goes up under all of these bridges through this little valley here and up into this part. Okay, so way up here this is all part of the wild area. And I know that's been covered before, and there's been a map that was leaked or something, and that's how people figured out that all of this was also part of the wild area. So you'll be able to access all of that rather early on. And then here you have the entrance to this city, so you can just go from the wild area up the steps and enter that city. So there's some different ways you can access the wild area right there. There'll probably be some other areas further on in the game if you wanted to be able to access points from up further into the map here. So anyway, I want to show you guys that because that's pretty cool, and it's going to come into play with some of the pictures we're going to look at. So let's keep going and see what else we can find. Okay, so here we have, I don't know, this might be Hop's house. It's kind of unclear a little bit. There's still sort of theories because there's 2 houses down here. Obviously, one is yours. One could be your rival's. And then you have the lab where you get your starter, I believe, right here, or this might be Professor Magnolia's house, and this might actually be where you actually get your starter. So it's either one of these two locations. There's a purple building, and then there's a purple roof here that has the Pokeball. So, but anyway, this picture is that purple house here, and you can see the purple brick there, so that's really cool. So that's one location. I think that's where you get your starter. And here again is this where you're battling Hop, and right here is actually where he's standing. This little like almost looks like a tennis court, but it's like a little battling court, I guess. To me, it just sort of it's like a tennis court, but you do Pokemon battles instead of play tennis. So that's right here in front of this house. I don't see one anywhere else. Some people have said that this is maybe Hop's house, but again, that's kind of still a little bit unclear, so don't quote me on that, but you will be able to go to this location. I believe this is where you get your starter, because I think you get them right here on this blacktop where Hop is standing, right here in this photo. And then there's this house or little cottage behind him, which it's hard to see here, but there is a small cottage behind this house that I've seen in another photo. So I think you'll have some way to access back behind the house and maybe even get to explore this lake area a little bit. Again, that's unclear. It looks even right here that there's an entrance to the water. There's like a little beach right here between these trees where maybe you could access the water, this pond here, and maybe even get over here. I'm not sure, or go down the waterways once you have a bike. So that looks to be like a water access area. So yeah, should be pretty fun. I'm excited to play the game. And then here we have I believe this is the water type gym. And this, if we look on our map here, this is, I believe it's further up. Let's see, let me pull back and see if I can find it. I believe it is this area, yes. So you can see there's the port. You can see kind of the little land area. Here's the boats that are being shown, and then the gym in the background. So clearly that's this image right here. The house, probably right here, these houses. So maybe you're kind of looking from this direction a little bit. You're like right over here because you're looking at these. These are shown right here. These square docks right here, and then there's more along the path right here. So anyway, that's going to be this area right here. So that's a little bit further into the game, little ways up through the wild area. So that's that area. Okay, so that's cool. Oh, this is what I wanted to find. This is a cool thing I realized once I realized about the wild area, and I looked at it closer. But this, where you find Tyranitar right here, this Tyranitar spawn is, I think it's right here in this wild part of the wild area. Because if you look closely, it's got kind of the sandy colored, and it's got these trees with no branches or no leaves on top. So this right here is that area where you're seeing the Tyranitar here in this scene that we saw. So that is right there in the wild area, and it looks like it might be looking like that the whole time. It could change with the weather. It's unclear really if it's like a seasonal picture, but that looks to be like that's gonna be how that area looks like. It's a desert area, kind of barren, and even the grass is brown in the picture here. So that's going to be right there. All right, next picture I want to show you is just Pokemon Center. Unclear which town it is in, but so it just gets me excited. And then here we have the Galarian Forest, which we all stared at for 24 hours to see Galarian Ponyta. So in Glimwood Tangle right here with Impidimp. I believe this is Glimwood Tangle. It's got this kind of glowy looking mushrooms here, and there's a small village and even a gym in the middle. So I think Glimwood Tangle is kind of the surrounding forest right here. And it was said that it's deep within the Galar region, so it makes the most sense. If you pull the map back and kind of look at the overall picture, there's not that many forests. There's one right down here at the beginning of the game, which I've seen another video pointed out that there is actually a path right here that goes into this forest, so there might be something there. And some people were also saying there was some sort of a story mode before you started where you had to help rescue a Wooloo, and so that might be where you're going to do that. So I don't know if you're actually going to get to have any wild encounters in this forest, but I don't think that's Glenwood Tangle just based on the information that we have. It seems more likely that this forest way back here, right under the mountains, is most likely the Glenwood Tangle forest, because as you see, we've got the luminescent mushrooms, and there's some pictured here right out on the outskirts of the forest. So I think that's probably where Glenwood Tangle is. So if you have the shield version, you can go right there and find yourself Galarian Ponyta. All right, so next, let's check out the next photo. Okay, so this looks like it's in one of the bigger cities, and we now know the name of one of the cities, which is Motostoke, which is this city right here, I believe. I think that's Motostoke, but I could be wrong. Okay, but this picture appears to be this city right here. It's kind of got it looks exactly like it. So looks like our player is standing probably right down here on these steps, looking up. There's like an archway leading into the city, and then the tower here is looking up at the tower, and there's the tower here. So is this supposed to be one of these cities? Is called Motostoke. It's kind of, I think it's this one. I think it's the first city right here. And sorry if I got that wrong. I'm trying to remember things off the top of my head. But here we have Route 1. And so if we pull back, we can see where Route 1 actually starts. And it appears to start like right here before this bridge. It seems like you're right here. You're going to go down the path, and then there's the bridge, and you can see the canal back here. And then these buildings, you have the professor's house. And what else is over here? The Pokemon Center in the back here. I believe this right here might be the train station, and then further back is the your first clothing store where you can start to customize your character more. So you're gonna basically probably start with this generic character. I think you get to customize like your face at first, but you'll be in the like standard clothes, and as you get further on down Route 1 here, you'll be able to go to the clothing store back here and pick out your first set of like customization clothes. And I think as you go through the game, there's going to be more shops like that, and there'll be more styles and things to choose from. And so anyway, we already can get like wild encounters, and I see back here now there's a Pokeball sitting here with an item, so you could go through there and get a hidden item. But yeah, it looks like Route 1 starts just right outside your town right here, maybe even like right here in this area, because there's a path that goes this way, so this could be that wild grassy area where we see the Pokeball here. But yeah, so you can see it goes down a little ways, and you can clearly see the bridge right here. So that's Route 1 right here, right off the bat, before you even actually get your starter. It seems like that you're going down Route 1. So yeah, very exciting. So let's check out the next photo I've got. Okay, this is more on your way back to this house where you'll get your starter. So this is occurring like right along here. So there's some wild areas. I feel like some of these trees kind of represent some of the grass areas where you can encounter Pokemon, and this one appears to be a battling scene. So that's like right here, right before you go over the bridge again, because you can see the bridge right here that goes over the water, and then the pond right here. And then back here is that house that I was telling you guys about, which I saw it on a map somewhere. But it's like back here this way behind the house. So I think you're going to be able to access this, because I think I've got a photo later that shows a close-up of this house back here. So I don't know if you'll be able to, like, if you're going around the house this way or this way, but you will be able to get access to this area back here behind the house. And so yeah, that's this area right here. Looks like it's like right here, because let's see a little closer. There's like a little space right here. See this space, this gap between the brown? It's like right here. There's a gap. So I think that's like literally right here. And then the path continues down this way and goes over the bridge. So yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's got to be it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a lot of fun making this, and I hope it's kind of fun and interesting to you, and then it's kind of fun to think about, you know, where things are happening and how the game's going to happen. So this is right by where you choose your starter. So there's a bench. I guess you can sit and watch out on the lake. So that appears to be like right over here because we see the edge of the blacktop, and the blacktop is right here in front of this house. So right in this area, in this little corner, we see the picture and we see the house right here. All right, next photo is the wild area, and this one is actually from the front perspective. So earlier we saw one that had like a different perspective than I originally thought it was, but this appears to be like looks like you might be right about here because you can see the city. There's a lake over here, so you could be like over this way or even like right here. It's kind of unclear. I don't think, let's see, I'm trying to figure out what it looks like. Because you got the city back here, and then the bridges, and then the other city way in the distance. And then the lake area is right here, and there's a tree. It's unclear if there's like any water in front of me at all. It's hard to tell exactly, but he could be like right here in this area, and we just can't see the water at this perspective. But just based on like where everything is, it seems like maybe he's even like right here, and he's between two of the water and kind of looking down this way. So more likely it seems to be maybe right here in this little kind of peninsula, if that's the best word to describe this, right here. And then he's looking out this way, and then can kind of see the stairs over here, but he could be right here. It's just, it looks like a short space, but it could be longer than it is drawn right here. So it's possible that he's just right here and looking that way and looking this way, because we're seeing the stairs, we're seeing the bridges. So yeah, somewhere in this general area is the perspective of this photo right here. All right, check out the next one. Okay, this is one of the ponds, and this one appears to be maybe, oh, this has got to be right here, because you see the city in the background. You see this city right here, this gray metal city with the big, I don't even know what to call those, but it's like just, it's got this funky design that like really stands out. So it looks like he's in the water right here. So you'll be able to access this water right here. He could even be in this small pond. Again, it's kind of unclear where he's biking, but it looks to be at least somewhere close to the city. So it's most likely either one of these two small ponds right here or this pond here that we're seeing. And again, I can zoom in a little more for you guys. I know it gets a little blurrier when you zoom in, but I'm thinking like right here and maybe right here is where we're seeing this image. All right, let's check out the next one. Okay, this one is also the same area where you find the Tyranitar, but it looks to be looking back. So it's like you're standing here on this side looking back this way because you see the bridges and you see the tower of the first city. So just a different perspective. The Tyranitar perspective was unclear because it was a close-up shot, but we see a Braviary flying by here, and we see the bridges in the background. So it looks like they could even be like standing up on the ledge from the way it looks, because there's a ledge right here. So they're possibly standing here and looking back through the wild area right up here. So that's pretty cool perspective as well. And here's some more just of the wild area. This is probably right around here somewhere because you see the little lake in the middle. And I think this is a picture where he's about to whistle to the Pokemon, because that is in one of the trailers where you can whistle and some wild Pokemon will hear you and come out and show themselves. So probably he's in this area somewhere, kind of unclear. Let's see. Well, there's mountains over there, so he could even be standing like right here looking out and seeing this tree and then seeing these and the mountains in the background. That's probably the perspective that we're seeing. Okay, so he's like probably right here looking at this tree. There's like a little tree right here in this jutted out area, and then back behind. So he's looking out on these mountains here. That's probably what we're seeing. That's really cool. All right, next image, just some images here of the wild area and the winter. This one right here on this side is close to the stairs. So he's probably like right around in here or over here, and we're seeing the stairs into the city. This one, not quite sure. It looks like there is water there, and then part of the city and some cliffs. So just more of the wild area there. And then here we see the Dynomax feature, which will be all over the wild areas. So this one looks like it could be, let's see, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think what it looks like. Somewhere near the water. And there is a bridge that's not really on the map right here, but looks like there's going to be a couple bridges, maybe like from here to here or out to the island, or just across parts of the water. There might be a bridge or two that you can walk on. So there's that. We can see the bridge there. It's not really marked clearly on this image right now, but I'm sure like once you get a town map or whatever in game, that it will be marked there for you so you can kind of see. And then again, okay, we have a repeat of the Tyranitar, and then the ride-on here is in that same area. You see the stones here, so those are actually right here in this same part of the wild area so you're gonna find Rhydon and Tyranitar up in this area. So yeah, that's kind of exciting to kind of think about, okay, where are these Pokemon gonna be found? And then we have Snorlax walking right here, and he's by one of the bridges. It looks like it might be this bridge, because I see another bridge in the back, plus I'm seeing this bridge in the back, and I'm seeing the tower in the back as well, right here in the background here. So it looks to be from that perspective. So you're gonna find yourself some Snorlax down in this little area. There you go. All right, here's some more of the wild area, and it's raining, so this was just some images that showed that the weather can change in the wild area. So that's going to be exciting to explore and just spend time and see how the weather changes. So we have the waters here. So this is back down, in this area where the 3 lakes are kind of there. Okay, so somewhere there, and we got some Electrike in the picture. And then there we've got Gyarados. I'm assuming, like I said, you can probably ride these if you catch them and be able to ride through the water, or you can use the super awesome bike that changes form when you need it. All right, and here we just have some more of the wild area. This is looking out at this. You can clearly see the island in the middle. Looks like we can actually access that, and it looks like there's even some like wild grass area on the island, as well as a tree and kind of like a road dirt patch. So it shows you that you can access this, most likely through the bike method. Just ride your bike out into the water and go over here to the island and see what you get. So here we go, and then you can see some Dynomax stuff in the back and wild Pokemon. So that's probably somewhere in this area, looking out at the lake, this little island in the middle. And here we have one shot of just standing here looking out, and you can see the stairs in the background for the city and these cliffs over here. Okay, right over here in the corner, there's a bit of this tower. So I'll be curious to see if this tower has any purpose in the game, or if it's just something we can explore, maybe get encounters inside. So that'd be pretty cool. It's like castle ruins, which is like, if you've been anywhere in Europe, there's always a lot of castle ruins or tours and places you can go to see castle ruins. So that's a cool little extra touch. So I hope that's explorable and we can go in there and kind of explore it. And I'm wondering, if it has a purpose right here. It's clearly on the map, and it's obviously in the game. There's it's very hard to see, but I can kind of make out that it's the same coloring or a color. It's a little different from the cliff coloring here. And so that might be the beginning of that tower right there, those castle ruins. So that might be an exciting thing to play, to explore if that's possible. If it could just be decoration, but hopefully it's something cool and has like a kind of a purpose or in the game, or just another little extra area within the wild area to explore. Maybe it could be the site of Dynomax battles. I don't know. But anyway, it's there. And so, yeah, that's one thing I want to kind of find out about is this little tower. What is it? What's its purpose? Does it even have a purpose? All right, next one. This one I want to show you guys. This area has got this cool yellow grass. is right up here, right before Milo's gym. You can see in the photo, there's a gym back here, and it looks to be green. I believe that's Milo's grass-type gym, and that is found right here. These yellow patches of grass are right here, and you can clearly see that there's green here on the map. So this is a little shot of that area. It's going to have yellow grass to explore. I love the colors and the textures in the game. It's looking so great. And all the grass isn't just green, you know. There's changing colors for different areas and different types of weather or seasonal things. So we have this yellow grass here, and then Milo's gym, and a Pokemon Center conveniently right outside the gym to help you out. So there you go. Let's check out this one. This one's just another view of the wild area, and they're looking on at this city. So he could be like potentially like over here because he's kind of running this direction, and from the angle, that's what it looks like. But you see the tower in the photo, so that's where he is. Here's some more wild area. Looks like it's more by like over here, because you see the cliffs and part of the city. Actually, okay, this is probably where this is, but because there's a bridge here, but it's kind of it's a little bit unclear. Okay, yeah, because there's a bridge, and it could be looking back at the city right here, and then at these cliffs. So that might be this bridge that's in this photo right down here. That's possibly where that is. All right, next photo. Okay, this goes back to right to where we were just before, by the yellow. Where did it go? By the yellow, right up here, by Milo's gym. We see the this graphic, which is one of the first images that came out and got people like really like interested and thinking like maybe that's legendary. So who knows really what purpose this has right now. He doesn't look like he fits in with the legendaries that we've seen right now. So anyway, there he is. He's right here in this part of the map by Milo's grass type gym. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what purpose this has, or if it's just there because it's decoration, or it's supposed to be like the Stonehenge or something of the Pokemon world. It has no real purpose, but it's just interesting. Who knows? We're gonna have to just wait and see when the game comes out. Anyway, here's some more like through a path. I'm not really clear where this might be. It could be right around in here. These are kind of like smaller areas, or maybe even here through, you know what, actually it might be right here now that I'm looking at it, because there's sort of like some rocks here, and it's a narrow path, so it could be right around in this area where these rocks are. Also, fun fact right here, if you look on the map, the walking path right here is going right into the mountain. There's an obvious open hole there. And so, yeah, I think there will be a footpath through part of these mountains back in here, and we'll get to explore and do some fun things in there. Next photo, this is our house. I believe that is probably the yellow house down at the bottom. Let me go find it again. All right, so this is our house right here. It looks like it probably is, just the shape of it. This is our house right here, and the green door, there's a green door now that I see that. So this is our house where you start your journey, and you got cute little steps, very, very, very cute. Just another wide shot of the wild area here. Here's Hop and your player character on the train. So yeah, we know the train starts right here, is your first train station, and I mean, this train is crazy. I can't figure out exactly where all of it goes, but let's just take a moment to look. It goes obviously into this tunnel. It's been mentioned that it probably stops here, and you can access the wild area here. Then it's unclear where it kind of continues. It probably goes back through the mountains, but it comes out right here, goes across over to here into these mountains, and then disappears again, and then you see the tracks come out here and go into this first town. So I'm sure there's a station in here where you can get off and go to this town, and then there's more train tracks here that disappear again under the ground and then come out back over here, and it goes up, and then it makes a little diagonal, a little slant here, and back again, disappears into the ground. And I'm not really sure. I kind of lose it at this point. It goes somewhere, but there's more tracks. I'm trying to find them. Where were the tracks that I saw? Looks like there's like a train bridge right here. It's possible. So it disappears into here. Maybe it like curves around through here. There's also appears to be like a footpath through here, through this little tunnel area right here. But yeah, the tracks kind of disappear. I can't tell if these right here are tracks or footpaths. But anyway, there's another track or footpath right here. So there's something that goes like all the way through the city. It's got some bridges on it. And then, let's see, the next place I really see the train tracks again is they come out through the mountains here, and it just sort of stops here at this last station. It doesn't appear to go up any further. It looks like you probably walk your way up the snow, through the snow into this city. But this looks like the last area where you see like the train tracks kind of just stop here. They don't appear to disappear into the mountain that I can tell. But it's hard. Like I said, the image was, covered a lot of area. And so when you zoom in, everything gets a little more blurry. But anyway, that's kind of a quick look at where the train tracks might be going again. And there's like something right here that looks like there could be train tracks coming out of the town that go into the mountain and then back out through here. So there's this right here. It's hard to see because the tower's blocking it, but there is like a tunnel opening here. I can't tell if there's tracks or a footpath going to that because the tower is in the way, but it's right back here. So anyway, just a kind of a fun look. And I can't tell if this looks like to be a fence, not a train track right here, but it gets a little tricky when you try to zoom into the image and point out stuff. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that little quick look at the train. It's kind of fun to kind of track it and see where it might be going. And here's just a close-up of Milo's gym. I believe I'm not sure if that's our first gym or not. Some people think that you go into the city for your first gym. So some of that's just still a little bit unclear, but, and I don't want to say the wrong things, but this image right here kind of excited me when I realized that it was in the trailer for like not even 5 seconds. It was like such a short clip in one of the trailers that was released, but you can clearly see she's in the tunnel and on train tracks. So it looks like you will be able to, even without being on the train, I don't know how much you can do, but at least maybe in this area, you can access these tunnels and be in these tunnels here. So that's kind of exciting to think about, that you can actually go into the train track tunnels. And there's obviously like a lot of cool stuff in here. There's some gems in the wall and fun stuff. And I'm assuming you're probably going to run into some wild Pokemon down here, maybe even like trainer battles, who knows. But it's exciting to think that you can actually walk around in this area, at least in part of the tunnel. Again, unclear where this might be. I'm thinking maybe here because there is a footpath that leads into this mountain as well as a train track. So it could be in this mountain area, but it could be possible that there could be different tunnel areas that you're allowed to access. So we'll just have to wait and see, but that's exciting to think that you at least get access to at least one train tunnel, because clearly she is in a train tunnel here and walking around, so you can go exploring on your own and don't have to be on the train. All right, so here's just a close-up of, I believe this is one of the gyms. This might be the gym that's in the city, because there is a gym that's supposed to be in this first city. It's kind of hard to see on the map exactly which building it might be, because everything is like really compacted and drawn close together. So, but anyway, that's a close-up image. You can see by the look of the brick that it's most likely belonging in this city. So this might even be the first gym in this city, and then maybe after that you can venture over to Milo and maybe he's next. So then you just sort of work your way through. I don't know if you'll go over here and this will be maybe your third gym, and then you'll work your way up and kind of do like, it's just unclear right now, the order, but definitely gets me excited to play the game. And here's just another shot of the wild area. This shot actually almost looks like they built like a little, like a a model of it and took a picture of the model, like a real life model or something, because this looks like very realistic. It's different graphics from the game, but anyway, it's just the wild area, and there's this bridge right here. Oh, so this actually clarifies where that bridge is. The bridge is going to be right here from this side to this side, because you can clearly see the bridge here and then the island in the background. So this is this area actually has a little bridge that goes over it. So you can take a bridge right here. Again, it's not on the map right here, but that is an area where you can have a bridge that goes across, because there it is in the picture. All right, and here's just another picture of where you choose your starter, which was back at the beginning of the game, and this is the player about to choose a starter. So yeah, I believe that is that, it's hard to tell. Oh, it is right before Route 1, because here's a Route 1 sign. Okay, so I think you choose your starter at Hop's house, which is right here. Okay, yeah, now that I see it, okay, so yeah, you don't choose your starter. See, I'm learning new things and kind of correcting myself, and like, it's just sort of trying to piece it all together. You know, I haven't played the games myself yet, so, and I know the people that got that experience so far aren't allowed to give every detail, so we still don't have all the information, but there's a battle pad here, or a battle blacktop here. There's also one right here, which is where we are, because I now see the brown house right here. Here, let me zoom in as much as I can. So, okay, here, this is where we choose our starters. So here's our house. So we're going to go across to Hop's house and choose our starters here. Okay? And then you're going to go down Route 1. So you will actually have your starter once you go down Route 1. That makes more sense now. So sorry about that in the earlier part of the video. But so here's Hop's house, which we don't really see in the picture here. I don't think it's in the picture. But we do see the brown house right here, which if you look on the map, is right next to his house. And then there's this little pond here, as well as the blacktop where the character is standing. And here are the 3 starters. So you're going to choose your starter here, and then continue your way down through Route 1 right here. So that's how the game's going to kind of start off. Just another photo of the wild area. You see again the bike, and see like right here, it looks like there's areas where there's steeper ledges where you can't probably go from bike to water right away. So there's probably going to be some certain areas that like act as an entrance or like a doorway into the water to allow you to do this and to be on the water. So that's a kind of a cool and exciting thing to think about as well. And here's just a close-up of in the city. There's going to be some bridges. This might be actually this city back here, because as I was looking at it earlier, it could be this one, because there seems to be a waterway around it, almost like a moat, at least around like this part. So that could be right here. But there's also a lot of waterways and bridges in this city. You see a lot of little blue pieces that look like they're probably waterways. And this looks more to be like in the middle of the city, so it's more likely this one as opposed to the other one. But there's a bridge over here. It's like they have moats, like castles. I mean, how much more awesome can this game get? There's a freaking moat. All right, I'm getting too excited. Oh, so okay, here's a snowy area image I saw. So looks like maybe up through this path. So you would take the train up here, and then you'd have a walking path up through the mountains up into the city. So that's probably where this character is, walking up through the snowy mountains and all that fun stuff. And then this is just a forest. Not really sure what forest it is, but it's part of Sword and Shield, and it's somewhere. So there's another shot of Route 1. Here's a shot of one of the plant stores in the first town, which I believe is called Wedgehurst. Another shot of Milo's gym. Okay, Wooloo got in here, I think because I wanted to look for this building, but again, I'm not really sure where that might be. There is like a Pokemon Center here. I feel like this is probably early on in the game. Let's see, back down this way on the map. Maybe like over here. This could be the train station right here because it's got this tower here. And then there's a building here that looks like maybe a red Pokemon Center in the back. And then there's a roof here. So kind of unclear exactly where that might be, but that's why I included that one. Okay, I don't need to look at that. Just another wild area. All right, have we covered everything I wanted to cover? I think I did. So, yeah, just some more wild area. There's a tree here. You can shake the trees and berries fall off. That's kind of cool. Just an up-close look at a Dynomax location. Those aren't actually on the map. Okay, yes, so that's the end. So, yeah, pretty exciting stuff. I hope you guys learned a little something new, or I hope you enjoyed, like, looking at the different perspectives that some of the photos and images that we've seen. I even found out new stuff through going through it like this. Again, apologize if any of my facts are wrong. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and a comment down below and get hyped for Sword and Shield in a couple weeks. See ya.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light